Hello, welcome to my video. Before I say anything else, I should say thank you for all the support I received on my first video. I really appreciate it. This is an iwaoi storyline that takes place a few months after the third year's graduate. There is a brief discussion of manga topics, so there are very slight spoilers. Also, a friendly warning, this video does contain cursing. Now on to the video.
In which Iwaizumi is sick, so Oikawa takes care of him like the amazing boyfriend he is. Private messages with Iwa-chan. Friday. 11:57 p.m. Iwa baby. OMG. Question mark. Oika? Keyboard smash. That nickname makes my heart go doki doki. Adorable. Stop, I'm blushing. PFFT. What did you want to tell me? Oh yeah. I'm eating some sashimi right now and ooh. This must be the pussy part of the fish because it's so good. Iwa-chan has gone offline. Wait, haha, come back. Iwa-chan is online. Nothing could have prepared me for that. Always expect the unexpected with me. But for real, this sashimi slaps. I wish you were here to eat it with me. We can get some when we go out tomorrow. Happy 𝘬𝘪𝘤𝘬𝘢. I can't wait. I can't wait either. I've prepared my phone for when you spam it with 200 photos. Thank you. Of course. I get to add more photos like this to my collection. Iwa-chan has sent an image. 𝘐𝘸𝘢𝘬𝘢. 𝘬𝘪𝘤𝘬𝘢. 𝘐𝘸𝘢𝘬𝘢. Spamming won't make it disappear, baby. Delete the image. You need to use Grammarly. Shut up, I'm typing fast. Typing f. Ugh. Speaking of photos, I have over 1,000 in my gallery. Why the hell do you have so many? I keep finding photos like these. Oika has sent an image. Oika has sent an image. Oika has sent an image. And I keep saving them. They are piling up. Iwa-chan has sent an image. Or you used the photo I sent you yesterday. I did. It's useful. Are you going to go to bed soon? Ugh, I should but I can't. The melatonin hasn't hit yet. Drink milk. Milk? Now that we're on the topic of milk, I've got something I wanna say. Why do us humans drink cow milk? That milk is meant for baby cows, not humans. I think we're too far along as a society to decide, yo, let's latch back onto our mom's tits instead of drinking cow's milk. But like, I'm just saying, you don't see a baby kangaroo sucking a goat's nipple. No, it gets milk from its own mom. ... Never mind, I think the melatonin is hitting, lol. I think so, too. Good night, baby, sleep well. I love you. Good night, I love you, too. Boisterous loving 𝘬𝘪𝘤𝘬𝘢𝘬𝘢. See you tomorrow. Or later because it's past midnight now, hair. See you later, Oika. Dies from your sweetness. Revives you. Please. Okay, good night. Oika has gone offline. Iwa-chan has gone offline. Saturday. 8:38 a.m. Iwa-chan. Good morning. 9:47 a.m. PSSST. 10:56 a.m. Iwa. This is so weird. You're usually up as early as me. Maybe you're having a busy morning. I forgot to ask you last night what time I should pick you up for our date later. Text me when you can, okay? 11:34 a.m. Good morning, baby. I'm sorry for responding so late. I woke up sick with a fever, so we cannot go on that date today. Sad Iwaizumi noises. I've been up since like 9, but I've just been laying in bed feeling like trash. I just mustered up enough energy to grab my phone from the nightstand. I'm really sorry about our date. We can go out somewhere the second I feel better. 11:45 a.m. Oh, Iwa. Don't be sorry about the date. Do you have anyone there to take care of you? Nah. Both of my parents are going to be at work all day. So, in that case, I'm coming over. I'm going to nurse you back to health like the spectacular boyfriend I am. So you can get sick, too? No. I wasn't asking. Iwa-chan. Stay home, Oikawa. Iwaizumi. Damn, he pulled out the full family name and the period. He did. I am coming over and you cannot stop me. Fine. Bring a mask though. I seriously don't want you to get sick. When he's thinking of you even though he's the sick one. Oikawa being head over heels for Iwaizumi. I'm going to head out now. See your cute ass soon. Okay. I love you. Love you too. Iwa-chan has sent an image. Oika has sent an image. Oika has gone offline. Around 10 minutes later, Oikawa was standing at Iwaizumi's doorstep. He put on his mask before lifting up the welcome mat at the door, grabbing the spare key to let himself in. He then stepped inside the house and locked the door behind him. Oikawa made his way through the familiar abode, stopping by the bathroom to wash his hands before going to Iwaizumi's room. He stopped in front of Iwaizumi's bedroom door and knocked courteously. Iwa-chan? I'm here. Come in. Oikawa turned the doorknob and entered slowly, taking in the sight of Iwaizumi. The bedroom would be completely dark if not for the small slivers of sunlight shining through the half-closed blinds. Iwaizumi had the bed covers down about his waist, exposing his muscular upper body that was covered in a coat of sweat. He was breathing heavily, his eyes barely opened and his face slightly flushed. Iwaizumi sat up in his bed and gave Oikawa a weak smile when he entered the room. Hey, baby. Oikawa pulled down his mask and smiled back. He opened the blinds fully before making his way to Iwaizumi's bed, sitting at the edge of it. Hey there, Casanova. Oikawa wrapped his arms around Iwaizumi's neck and leaned down to plant a kiss on his temple. No kisses. And put your mask back on. I thought I told you I didn't want you getting sick. Did you? I can't remember that at all. Sigh. Did you really have to say sigh out loud? It's for emphasis. Oikawa hummed and kissed Iwaizumi's forehead. What did I just say? You're not the boss of me. My house, my rules. Are you really going to not listen to me? Oikawa smirked and gave Iwaizumi his best over-the-top flirtatious wink. Depends on the consequences. Iwaizumi stared blankly at his boyfriend for a moment before he realized what Oikawa had implied. A scowl and a deep, red blush made their way onto Iwaizumi's face. Oikawa giggled as Iwaizumi playfully shoved at him. Why are we dating? Because my dick game is unmatched. Oh my goodness. Much to Iwaizumi's dismay, Oikawa laid light, chaste kisses along Iwaizumi's jaw. Stop kissing me. Oikawa looked up to the ceiling for a moment, pretending to appear in deep thought. Thank you for submitting your request, sir. The matter was brought to the higher-ups of Oikawa Toru's brain, but I must inform you that it has been denied. Oikawa. Accept my kisses, Iwa. No. Kith. Oikawa kissed Iwaizumi's eyelids, the tip of his nose, both of his cheeks, and every spot he could get to on his face while avoiding his lips. Iwaizumi's groans and requests for Oikawa to stop soon died down into laughter as Oikawa kissed all over his face. After he was finished, Oikawa leaned back, admiring the fierce blush he had left on Iwaizumi's face. A job well done, if I do say so myself. You're going to get sick. I'll be fine. Besides, if I get sick, you'll just take care of me. Oikawa removed his arms from Iwaizumi's neck and frowned slightly at him in concern. How are you feeling? Anything you need? My throat is kinda dry and this headache sucks, but I'm feeling a bit better than earlier. I really wanna take a shower though, I feel gross. I wanted to earlier, but I could only manage to get to the bathroom and brush my teeth before my head started spinning. Oikawa cooed at Iwaizumi. Or, my poor Iwa-chan. I'll run a bath for you. Iwaizumi pulled Oikawa's mask back up his face and gave him a brief Eskimo kiss. Thank you, baby. Of course. Oikawa helped Iwaizumi out of his bed and to the bathroom down the hall. As Iwaizumi peeled off his clothes and threw them in a hamper, Oikawa ran warm water in the bathtub and added liquid soap. After enough bubbles formed to his satisfaction, Oikawa moved aside to let Iwaizumi step into the bath. As his body sank underneath the water and bubbles, Iwaizumi let out a relieved sigh. Oikawa squeezed some shampoo onto the palm of his hand and began to gently massage it into Iwaizumi's hair. Iwa-chan, you haven't eaten today, have you? Iwaizumi shook his head as he relaxed under Oikawa's touch. I haven't had an appetite. Figured. You need to eat, though. I saw some butternut squash in your kitchen. I could make you some soup. Iwaizumi let out a sharp laugh. You? Cook? That's hilarious. Reconsider going professional with volleyball. Stand-up comedy might be a better choice. Oikawa softly whacked the top of Iwaizumi's head. Rude. I'm being serious. I'm positive I can follow a recipe. The last time you were in my kitchen, it resulted in us calling 911. I've grown as a man since then. It was 2 weeks ago. Oikawa huffed and rinsed the shampoo out of Iwaizumi's hair. Come on, Iwa-chan. I know if I just gave you leftovers from your fridge, you wouldn't eat it because you lack an appetite. But if I cooked you something, you would eat it out of feeling obligated. ... You know me too well. As I should. You need to get some food into your system, Iwa. I'm cooking. Even if I say no, you'll cook anyways, so. Just please don't burn down my kitchen again. I won't. I have to be able to make a meal for my future husband. Iwaizumi snorted. We're 18 and barely 5 months into our relationship, and you're talking about marriage? What are we, American celebrities? Oikawa laughed as he stood up from the side of the tub. I'll be leaving you to your bath. If you're still feeling too weak and need help with anything, call for me. Iwaizumi turned his head to watch Oikawa as he left the bathroom. Thank you, Oika. Oikawa flushed and felt his heart doing somersaults. Even after months of Iwaizumi using that adorable nickname, he just couldn't get used to it. Not trusting his voice, Oikawa simply smiled at Iwaizumi before leaving the bathroom. Saute the onion? How the hell do you saute an onion? Oikawa had his phone in one hand and a knife in the other as he looked at a recipe for butternut squash soup. An untouched onion sat on a cutting board in front of him. Oikawa placed his phone on the kitchen counter and glared at the onion. He held up the kitchen knife menacingly as he spoke to it. You better not burn my eyes and make me cry. And he cried. Oh my goodness, why does this sting so much? Chill, Toru. It's for Iwa. It's for Iwa. It's for Iwa. And he chanted that like a mantra the entire time he cut the onions, and the entire time he was cooking. Things went surprisingly well. Oikawa was able to follow along with the recipe, and an hour later he was looking proudly at the soup in the pot. He took a spoonful of it, blowing it softly before putting it in his mouth. The soup was sweet and creamy with an air of autumn, melting in Oikawa's mouth and warming his throat as he swallowed it. Damn, I'm really great at everything. He scooped some of the soup into a bowl for Iwaizumi and grabbed a cup of water, a bag of saltine crackers, and some medicine. He placed everything on a tray and walked back to Iwaizumi's room, feeling content with himself. When Oikawa entered the bedroom, Iwaizumi was snuggled up under the covers of his bed. Iwa-chan, food service is here. Iwaizumi perked up and sat up in his bed, scooting over so that Oikawa could sit next to him. Oikawa placed the tray on the nightstand and got onto the bed, Iwaizumi instantly snuggling up against him and leaning his head on Oikawa's shoulder. He put his hand on Oikawa's thigh under the covers and began to caress it lovingly. Oikawa smiled at this and wrapped one of his hands comfortably around Iwaizumi's bicep. He kissed Iwaizumi's cheek and took the bowl off of the tray, placing it in Iwaizumi's lap. What happened to not being touchy? I thought you didn't want me to get sick. You're too good looking. I gave up. That's all? I'm just good looking? How shallow. Iwaizumi giggled and Oikawa felt his heart swell. You're a lot of other things, of course. But if I were to list off everything, you'd get a big head about it. Fair enough. Iwaizumi looked down at the bowl of soup awkwardly as Oikawa stared at him expectantly. That soup isn't going to eat itself. Why no? I know, just. I'm honestly scared to eat it. Huh? I put my whole ass into making that. You better eat it. Either that or I'm shoving it down your throat. Take your pick. Iwaizumi looked at the soup nervously. With a slightly shaky hand, he picked a spoonful of the soup and cautiously put it into his mouth. Oikawa watched as Iwaizumi's facial expression turned from scared to shocked, then to pleased. Damn Oikawa, this is really good. I know, I'm literally George Ramsay. You followed a recipe, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And it's Gordon Ramsay. I knew that. I was just testing your knowledge. Aha. Anyway. I just remembered a story I wanted to tell you. I'm all ears. So, you know Itsuki-kun? Azusagoa Itsuki? He's going to be a 3rd year, right? The one and only. Apparently he had a girlfriend, and she didn't know how to break it off with him. So she lied to her mom and said she was getting bullied at school. Wait, what does being bullied have to do with her breaking up with Azusagoa? And why would she lie about it? She said she was being bullied so she could switch schools. So that she could avoid having to break up with 𝘆𝘂𝗂𝗏 directly. ... You're kidding. I'm not. You're making this up. I wish I was. She even, punched and slapped herself to get brozes, to really sell the story. Her mom, obviously thinking her daughter was being beat up at school, got the principal and the police involved. And when they questioned her, well, she had nothing because she didn't expect her plan to work out so well. She got caught pretty quickly. But she did get to switch schools after all that. And, she and 𝘆𝘂𝗂𝗏 aren't together anymore. Holy shit, that's insane. Right? She could have just broken up with him over text. Anything would have been better than that stunt she pulled. I think I would cry if anyone went through all that trouble just to break up with me. For real, damn, am I that bad? 𝘆𝘂𝗂𝗏 is such a nice boy, too. I hope he finds someone better. Same. While Oikawa was speaking, Iwaizumi had finished all of the soup. Iwaizumi reached across Oikawa to put the empty bowl back on the tray. He grabbed the glass of water and took a few sips before drinking down the medicine. Hey, Oikawa? If you ever wanna break up with me, don't do something as drastic as 𝘆𝘂𝗂𝗏's ex-girlfriend did. Oikawa frowned at Iwaizumi's statement. I don't plan on breaking up with you. Unless it's agreed to be a short-term thing, no one really plans on breaking up, baby. What's with this all of a sudden? Iwaizumi sighed. I'm leaving for the States in 3 weeks. iuc Irvine is my dream school, and it's just so far away. Oikawa's heart dropped. And I'm leaving for Argentina not too long after that. A tense silence fell over them. We can make long distance work. Right? I don't know. I'm not saying I want to break up, definitely not that. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. We're going to be countries apart, doing completely different things. Other than holidays, we can only see each other through video call. There's going to be times when we won't talk for weeks. I've lived almost my whole life with you, Oikawa. Saying goodbye to my best friend is one thing, but my boyfriend, too? Iwaizumi's voice cracked, and Oikawa held onto his hand. I'm scared, too, believe me. But we entered this relationship knowing we'd only have a few months with each other like this before we both left Japan to pursue our dreams. And we entered having full faith that we would make this work. I still have full faith that we can make this work, Iwa-chan. 3 weeks is so soon. I wish we had more time. Iwa. I've heard so many stories about how long-distance relationships crash and burn, and the same people that were once in love end up hating each other. Do you think I could ever hate you? No. And, I could never hate you. As I thought. So why are you thinking like this? It's hard not to. I just don't want to lose you, Oika. I don't want to lose you, either. I said you're gonna be my future husband, didn't I? How can that happen if we break up? Iwaizumi chuckled and placed a kiss on Oikawa's neck. You're right. Oikawa moved his hand to cup Iwaizumi's cheek. He stared into Iwaizumi's eyes with a smile. Things won't always be easy, Iwa-chan. But they won't always be hard, either. We'll text and call and fly to see each other whenever we can. And we won't be separated forever. This will work. We will work. Okay. Iwaizumi slowly exhaled the breath he had been holding. Okay. Iwaizumi leaned forward, and Oikawa met him halfway, pressing their lips together in a warm, comforting kiss. The kiss was sweet and inviting, filled with unspoken promises and affection to last a lifetime. When they parted, Iwaizumi let out a happy sigh. You're definitely going to get sick now. Then so be it. I wanna go on that date eventually. Why no, it'd be annoying if you got sick. Oikawa giggled. God, I love you. I love you, too, baby boy. Oikawa grinned widely. Oh my gosh, we're in love. Oikawa collapsed onto Iwaizumi. Say it again. I love you. And you? I love you, too. Oikawa squealed in glee as he held Iwaizumi in his arms, the two becoming an entanglement of limbs, giggles, and love as they drifted off into slumber. As Iwaizumi came out of his peaceful nap, he quickly became aware of Oikawa's strong, protective arms around him. Iwaizumi smiled and relaxed into his boyfriend's hold with a sigh. He suddenly felt a pair of soft lips pressing a kiss against his neck and resting there. You're finally up? How was your nap? Iwaizumi hummed and turned his head so that he could see Oikawa's face behind him. That was one of the best naps I've ever had. It must have been if you were knocked out for 4 hours. What? Oikawa watched as Iwaizumi surveyed the room, noticing how much darker it was now compared to before the two fell asleep. It's getting kinda late, huh? Are you gonna go now? In response, Oikawa squeezed Iwaizumi tighter. No. I'll have to get going eventually to make it back in time for dinner, but not right now. Oikawa slowly removed his arms from around Iwaizumi to sit up in the bed. Iwaizumi sat up as well, latching himself back onto Oikawa as soon as he did so, making Oikawa laugh softly. You're so cute. Iwaizumi buried his face in the crook of Oikawa's neck. I think you're cuter. You're the cutest. No you. No you. No you. There's no point in going back and forth with you, huh? No. Fine, I'll let you win this time. Well, what do you wanna do now? I dunno. ... Wanna make a no. What part of me being sick do you not understand? I'm probably already going to get sick. Still no. Well, it was worth a shot. Oh, let's watch mukbangs. Your growing addiction to watching other people stuff their face with food concerns me. It helps with my cravings. You're always craving something. I took a which AOT character are you? Test yesterday and it said I was Sasha. I didn't get it before, but now that we're having this conversation, I do. I took one last week and got Mikasa. Seriously? We're literally meant to be. I agree. Their friendship is highly underrated. Right. It's a crime. Okay, mukbang time. Oikawa quickly grabbed his phone from the nightstand and unlocked it before scrolling through YouTube to find a mukbang to watch. After about a minute, he found one he was satisfied with and clicked it, making sure to turn up the volume. Ugh, why'd you put the volume up? I don't like the eating sounds. It enhances the experience. Iwaizumi pinched the bridge of his nose and let out a sigh. Okay. I still don't get the hype about mukbang videos. Just sit through a few with me, you'll get it soon. If you say so. And not even 10 minutes later, Oikawa was right. Iwaizumi had his head on Oikawa's shoulder, one of his hands resting on Oikawa's toned stomach and rubbing in circles. He stared at Oikawa's phone in pure amazement as a woman shoved crispy chicken wings and spicy noodles past her lips. No way she just skinned that chicken wing like she doesn't have 30 more. Oikawa nodded in agreement, one of the fingers of his free hand twirling in Iwaizumi's hair. You're telling me that has to be at least 6 servings of noodles. These people eat for a family of 5, it's so impressive. I just know it hurts when she takes a shit. Her dumps probably rip her whole ass open. At that, Oikawa barked out a laugh, even letting out a snort. Oikawa slapped a hand over his mouth and paused the video, glancing at Iwaizumi in embarrassment. That was ugly, huh? It was, but it was a cute kind of ugly, just like you are. Oikawa stared daggers at Iwaizumi as the latter laughed. I hate you. Duly noted. Iwaizumi lifted a hand and pointed at his cheek. Kiss. Oikawa dramatically turned up his nose. Oh. But I thought I was ugly? You wouldn't want to kiss someone ugly, would you? I'll make an exception for you. Wow. Oika, baby, you know you're hot as hell. Oikawa's heart all but leapt out of his chest. His blush was instantaneous, and he stuttered as he spoke. Well why, of course I am. Iwaizumi smirked, and Oikawa pressed a quick kiss to Iwaizumi's cheek before unpausing the video. As the two continued to watch more mukbang videos, with Iwaizumi's body pressed against his side, Oikawa thought that he couldn't be happier. He almost wished that this day wouldn't end, that he would be able to stay like this with Iwaizumi a little while longer. He wished that time would slow down. 3 weeks was just too soon. But he knew that wouldn't happen, so he savored these moments with Iwaizumi while he could. Yes, Oikawa was taking care of Iwaizumi. But, just by being there, Iwaizumi was taking care of Oikawa, too.
Lord have mercy, I'm about to bust. And I still can't say anything.